So guys, it's question time. So thank you so much to all of you who asked me questions. Thank you also to a lot of you who have, just DM'd me randomly and, asked me maybe for a friend or a partner or for yourself. It's let me know that social work is cool. It is. But it's also let me know that there's just a lot of misconceptions and a lack of understanding about what social work is. But yeah, let me just get into your questions. So the first question I got was, I think I answered this. They said, where are you currently in your social work journey? So at the moment, I'm unemployed. I'm just counting the days, yeah, so at the moment I'm just looking for ASYE positions. But as I said in my last video, I don't think at this point I'm gonna push that, because COVID has just messed things up, and now it's so competitive to get the job much more than it was before. So I think now I'm gonna actually broaden my search, and I'm gonna start to apply for adults as well, adult social work. I might actually go back to my first placement because they offered me a job before, said, do you want to work with us? And they're in the mental health segment, so I might actually consider doing that. But where I'm at the moment is I'm just looking for a job. Yeah. So the next question I got was, what was the master's like? So I studied at Middlesex University, and I was the guinea pig year of the master's 14 months fast track course. So throughout the year we all called ourselves the guinea pig year because it was trial and error, and it was very difficult. What was the master's like? If I'm completely honest with you, the master's was bittersweet. So I really enjoyed placement. I really enjoyed learning. I really enjoyed, discovering the social work world and just having my eyes open. I think one of the first things I said to one of my uni friends was, since after like 3 weeks in the course, I was like, it's almost like somebody's just removed the scale off my eye and I can just see everything. So what I mean by that is, for example, I could be in an area that I don't know, and just by the type of people that I'm seeing, I could identify where a hostel may be, or where a mental health house may be, or just something along those lines. That you just become so aware of everything. It's just crazy. But the masters was very hard. It was very difficult, having to trying to keep your zeal and trying to keep your passion while literally crumbling. So crumbling from tiredness, crumbling from assignments, crumbling from placement, crumbling from having no money. Listen, yeah, having no money. Like, I can't, the masters was just, it's almost like, and it's like the devil the devil tried me, because I was like, God, is this really for me? Like, do you really want me to do social work? Because I don't know, man, this is just hard. Like, it was very hard. But now that I'm almost, I can't believe I'm almost a year post masters. Crazy. I just thank God that I got through it. And I thank God that I had the right people around me to motivate me and push me. But the masters is bittersweet. That's just the truth. It's bittersweet. There's going to be parts you enjoy, there's going to be parts you don't enjoy, and ultimately you're going to be tired and stressed. That's just what it is. I would say for anyone, especially if you're doing the full masters, PG dip people, yeah. Full masters people, make sure at the beginning of the course you're already thinking dissertation. You're going to hear the lecturers and teachers tell you, think about your dissertation. You'll think, it's too early, man. Don't relax, because I deferred my dissertation went like 2 weeks before it was due, because I was like, I can't deal with this stress. It's either I lose my hair, I lose all the weight, or I lose my sanity, or I try to just plan. All I'll say is plan ahead and food prep. If you're not food prepping, you're not eating. What are you eating? Huh? Oh, okay. So the next question, what are the typical day-to-day duties? So your day-to-day duties are going to vary depending on what team you're in. So for those of you that are watching part 2 and haven't watched part 1, go back to part 1. So it just depends what team you're in. So for example, when I was on my first placement, I was in mental health, adult mental health, and my duties, I was in a care home. So my duties were making sure that the service users had their medication, making sure that the house was tidy, making sure that if I needed to go and do an assessment in a hospital, that I had that ready and planned, making sure that my write-ups was done, making sure that when it came to their shopping budget and they had to do shopping, that I was there and available for them. So it just depends. On the other hand, when I was on my 100-day placement in LAC, I had LAC visits, LAC reviews, pet meetings, court, prison, chasing children around London, back and forth out of London, sorting out paperwork for carers that wanted to go on holiday with children, sorting out children's gyros, their weekly money. There was just so much stuff. Like, let me just put it this way. When you have multiple cases, you're going to be doing multiple things. So with one child, I had to sort out, he was an asylum seeker, so I had to sort out getting his letter transferred to where he was from through a charity so that the family didn't find out, so they don't lose their life. Like, social work is just like, how can you not be on your toes? I just don't understand social workers that are lazy, because this is the job where there's no lays. There's no lays, because you're constantly on your feet. There's constantly things to do. So it just depends what team you're in. So I'll give you another example, like leaving care. You'll be doing pathway plans, but then you might have a child that don't have a passport and you have to go to the embassy. You might have a child that needs help with filling out job application, CV. You might have to sit down with one of your young people one day, help them with that. Like, it just, you might have to, if they want to go uni, you might have to help them their application, help them with all the paperwork. Like, some teams have more. No, let me not even say that, because I just feel like it depends on the case. But I know for looked after children, there was a lot of paperwork and a lot to do. And why it was so difficult as well is because most of the young people can't be in borough. So you're travelling all up and down London, all up and down the UK. So yeah, it just depends what team you're in. What did I enjoy and what didn't I enjoy about the role? So what I enjoy most about, I guess the saying role is in social work. So what I enjoy most about social work is the flexibility, the fact that every day is different. Like, you can come in one day thinking, oh, this is just the day where I'm going to eat cookies and write up my case notes. One of my young people, I have to go to the police station, I have to do this. So I like the fact that it's unpredictable. I don't know what to expect every day, so which keeps me on my toes and helps me to not be bored. I also like that I'm in a position where I can really help people, and you may not respect the name social work, but you will respect it, if you get me. So it's like, a lot of people, you hate social workers and so forth, but when you think of it, social workers do a lot for people generally. Like, we generally do a lot. Like, I can give you guys stories on stories, but I'm going to save that for a get ready with me video I'm going to do. But when I've spoken to social workers that's been in the game for like 20 years and I've heard stories, social workers do a lot. What don't I enjoy about being a social worker? It's a lot of pressure, I would say. It's a lot of pressure. If you're not careful, you can lose yourself. That's why the turnover in social work is very high, because a lot of people, they start and within 1 year, you're not doing social work again. Like, even when I started my master's, about 3 or 4 of my uni friends left, and I was like, where are you going? you student finance gonna come get you. So, but yeah, like, so it can be very, I think if you're gonna think about doing social work, if you're really passionate and gonna start this journey, you have to be strong-willed. Like, you have to have mental strength. You have to, because if not, even like, I can give you guys a story of one of my uni peers who, on one of her visits, like, she burst out crying because she couldn't take the pressure. And cry where? I ain't crying in front of no family, unless there's a reason to cry. I ain't crying in front of no family. But yeah, you need mental strength. The next question, is there a lot of paperwork involved? Yes, but also it depends what team you're in. So looked after children, there's a lot of paperwork, because it involves courts. The same with sin, like anything can involve court and stuff like that. So it's a lot of paperwork, but it's manageable. I think it's manageable. Once you get in the swing of it, you can manage it, but you would also always have your case notes to write. So whenever you see a child, you have to write up what happened on your visit, what you discussed, blah, 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 and so forth. Somebody said, so how much you making, sis? Salary. Okay, so your starting salary as a social worker is, well, it depends. If you're on the ASYE, it's the lowest I've seen is 28, and I don't know who they're trying to pay that, but generally you can start on between 28,000 to 30,000 a year, and then you can just progress onwards and upwards. Yeah, I would say it's about between 20 and 32 is what you're looking at as your starting salary. So it's pretty good. Is it true that you always get home late because I have a child? That as well, it depends what team you're in. So for example, some of the social workers I spoke to when I shadowed the MASH team, so that's the front door service. Again, if you not familiar with this terminology and you haven't watched the first part of the video, please watch it. But a lot of the people and social workers that I spoke to in that team, a lot of them were actually women and mothers. And I said, why? And a few of them said to me, because we have to make sure that we can leave at 5 o'clock, point blank. That's the type of job or team which is like you're guaranteed to leave on time. But if you're in another team, any day can present a different challenge. So you may think, oh, I'm going to finish early today because this is what I've had planned. But as I said before, it's unpredictable, so you just don't know. It depends what team you work in, but I believe you can leave on time. So for example, you have to be very strategic. So with me, I would know that if I'm seeing a child on a particular day and this child may not see me and something may kick off with another child, I'm going to organize my diary in a way which will kind of give me the leeway to let me know, okay, realistically, what time am I going to get home? Like, if I have something to do, I may have to just tell this person, let's reschedule, because today I don't know how this child may respond. I don't know what's going to happen, so I don't know. So I think that's just the best way. Organize your calendar in a way that can suit you as best as you can and take advantage of, what's that word called? I don't remember the word, but basically when you go with your hours and they give you the hours back, make use of that. I like this question. Can you have a work-life balance? Of course, if you want to. But it's similar to what I said just now about, just planning your calendar effectively. But I know for me, there was no way it was just going to be work, because I was not taking work home. However, do note that a job like social work, even if you don't want to take it home, depending on what you're dealing with, a lot of these cases are very traumatic. And as I said before, if you don't have the mental strength, you can crumble. I didn't think certain cases I had would affect me until there was 2 nights that I couldn't sleep, and I had to message a friend and say, Daniela, I can't sleep. Like, I didn't know that this would actually affect me, but it's on my head. And, I'm a Christian. I believe in prayer because I need to be praying consistently, because you don't realize sometimes how things can drain you emotionally until they do. But you can have a work-life balance. It's all about planning and all about discipline and setting boundaries for yourself. So if your manager's saying all the time, can you stay late? No, I can't. I ain't got a husband and kids, but no, I want to go home and watch Netflix today. Furthermore, no. Boundaries. How do you manage stress? Working out. So for me, a stress reliever has always been exercise. So if I get to moments where I feel like I'm feeling a little bit depressed, I'm feeling a bit heavy, working out is always one of my top things. Like, I'm always like, no, I need to just exercise, I need to just relieve it. Sometimes I go for walks. Occasionally when I was stressed on the masters, like, I'll be at uni, be doing work, I'll leave my laptop and stuff, and I'll just go on a walk, go and sit down somewhere, read a book, listen to music, and just chill out for me. Okay, so the last question I got is, in this job, is there room for progression? Can you progress in this job? And you can. So if you're starting the course, or if you have Google, which everyone does, if you type something in called the PCF, the Professional Capabilities Framework, which if you're starting the course, you're going to hear about all about this, and they're going to speak about BASWA, and they're just going to go on and on and on and on and on. But get a head start and start reading it. So it's called the PCF, the Professional Capabilities Framework. And that actually lets you know, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it, or maybe you can, but it looks like this. And this is like the wheel of, I call it the wheel of progression because that's what I see it as. So it shows you your steps and how you can progress and go up if you choose to in social work. So from the point where you enter into social work, then your first placement, your second placement, then your ASYE, then you become a qualified social worker, then an experienced social worker, then you can become an advanced social work practitioner, a manager, or an educator. Then the next tier is principal social worker, or a strategic social work manager, or a strategic social work educator. So there is room for progression. But what I will say, from what I've seen, not to say that I'm not going to progress, because the only way is upwards, but from what I've seen, a lot of people, especially if you become a practice educator and you do all of these what I call top-ups to get up, it comes with stress. You know, nothing's going to be easy. Social work is challenging, but it's very rewarding. Like, there's been times I've, you know, sat with young people, or I remember I took out one of my young people to a meal for her birthday, and it was just so nice to just have someone open up to me that I could just give all the love and advice to. Like, social work is really amazing. It's really rewarding. It's something that I would recommend to anyone who can handle it, and who really wants to help people. Because, you know, sometimes you can think you want to do something, and sometimes you can have a good intention, but when it comes to it, you'll be challenged, and you'll realize, actually, I don't think, you know, I don't think this is for me. I don't think I really want to do this. But I just hope and I pray that for anyone watching this video who's thinking about social work, who's starting their journey, that the Lord will just guide you. Because there's a lot of people that I've seen in this job who, I know you're just there because you like the power and because you like to be in charge and all of this stuff. But for you guys, I'm wishing you well on your journey. Let me know if you need any questions answered, or if I can support you in any way. Just comment down below, or follow me on Instagram at sefrawils, and let's get talking. Also, let me know, like, as you're going on your journey, like, what are you enjoying, what are you not enjoying, what are some questions that's budding in your heart, you know. Let me know. See you guys. Bye.